the bathroom.
I need to, but I can't fit the toilet.
Today, the National Guard set up additional sites to hand out bottled water by the case.
Thank you. Even up in Washington, somebody needs to be trying to hurry up and solve this problem.
Until the problem is solved, people will continue to be desperate to get water. Now, the National Guard tells CBS News it will remain here in Jackson until orders change. Nora? Police Preston, thank you so much. With the emergency declaration from President Biden, FEMA is now coordinating the response in Jackson. Administrator Deanne Criswell is heading to Mississippi tomorrow, and we spoke with her earlier and asked what's being done by the federal government.
Our focus right now for FEMA is handling the immediate needs that Jackson, Mississippi has. And right now, that's making sure that they have safe water to drink and that we are bringing in the resources that can do some temporary repairs to restore the water pressure to the city.
Even with that water pressure coming back, residents are being told to shower with their mouth closed. In some cases, the water is brown. It's dirty. How can this be happening in a major city in America?
It's an absolutely tragic situation that we find ourselves right in. How are we going to make sure that this doesn't happen again and bring in the right resources, the right experts that are going to define a plan to help repair this critical piece of infrastructure and help the community of Jackson, Mississippi get back to where it needs to be?
More than 80% of Jackson's residents are Black. Has there been a lack of investment in communities of color, and is this the prime example?
You know, I don't know about the investment there in Mississippi, but what I can say is that from FEMA's standpoint, when we look at natural disasters, we often see communities of color that are disproportionately impacted by disasters. And that's one reason why we have made equity a principal focus for this administration.
The mayor of Jackson, Mississippi started warning years ago about that city's water system. Why wasn't this fixed before it became a crisis?
Yeah, I can't speak to the specifics on why it hasn't been fixed in the past. We are bringing in all of the right federal resources to better understand what it is we need to do going forward.
Our interview with the FEMA administrator. Now to the weather. Out west, a fast-moving wildfire has erupted in a rural area north of Los Angeles. The root fire comes amidst a scorching heat wave across the western U.S. and has prompted mandatory evacuations, temporarily closed part of Interstate 5, and has burned more than 5,000 acres. To the legal storm over those top-secret documents seized from former President Donald Trump's Florida home. A federal judge has declined to rule immediately on whether to appoint an independent reviewer of the material, but has ordered the unsealing of a more detailed inventory of what was taken. Here's CBS's Robert Costa.
Today, Trump's lawyers clashed with Justice Department officials in court for the first time since last month's search. Trump's team argued that the review of evidence should pause so an independent lawyer or special master could be appointed and see whether the documents are privileged. Some legal experts say that move could further complicate the investigation.
If that special master is given authority to look for executive privilege, very much so, because one, that master would look at every document, and two, presumably it would mean that Trump wins some of these calls.
The federal probe has already revealed the presence of hundreds of documents marked classified in Trump's possession and prompted an unprecedented damage assessment by intelligence officials. Jay Bratt, the head of DOJ's counterintelligence division, argued against the appointment of a special master. He claimed the FBI search was legally sound. Trump is no longer the president, and because he is no longer the president, Bratt said, he did not have the right to take those documents. The former president continues to maintain that he did nothing wrong when he brought the sensitive materials to Florida last year.
Then all of a sudden you're leaving, and stuff gets packed up and sent.
Right.
All sorts of stuff. You know, mostly the boxes, pictures and newspapers and shirts and gear and, golf balls.
As federal judge Eileen Cannon mulls whether to appoint a special master, she has ordered the unsealing of a more detailed list of property taken from Mar-a-Lago.
You're going to be able to see what Trump had and that it was more than just keepsakes and